Spencer, you launched the mortgage marketplace a year and a half ago, and I think within that first year it garnered, what, 1 million quotes. How has that fared this last 6 months?
Well, so today we get about 50,000 loan requests a month. That's borrowers saying they want a loan from Zillow, which is a lot. It's about half the size of LendingTree's marketplace, which has been around for 10 or 15 years. What we're really excited about with Zillow Mortgage Marketplace is how it empowers the borrower. The borrower gets to stay anonymous and doesn't give up personal information until they're good and ready. So because of that better consumer value proposition, it's growing extremely quickly.
So on the lender or banking side of it, has that changed at all, the sheer number of people willing to loan?
We have over 5,000 lenders in Zillow Mortgage Marketplace, so the typical borrower fills out a loan request, takes a couple minutes, and they get about 25 to 30 loan quotes back from those 5,000 plus lenders, typically within seconds. So, while there's been a lot of dislocation in the mortgage market, the number of lenders interested in Zillow Mortgage Marketplace hasn't changed. No.
You talked a little bit about LendingTree. What are some of the other competitors that you have, and how are your rates compared to them? What are some competitive advantages that you have?
The biggest competitive advantage is keeping the consumer in control. So when you look at traditional lead gen, kind of version 1.0 mortgage lead gen companies, the premise is the borrower has to give up their name, their social security number, their phone number, their email address in order to really find out much of anything. And then the lenders call and call and call. It's like blood in the water until you want to change your phone number. And with Zillow Mortgage Marketplace, the competitive advantage is the borrower stays anonymous. They fill out a loan request, they get quotes back, and then that borrower gets to decide which lender or lenders they want to reach out to, it turns lead gen on its head.
Right. There are about 17 million homes right now estimated to be underwater. We have several articles on the site talking about how people are now contemplating just walking away from their mortgage just because it's too expensive. Their house is way overvalued at that strike. What are your thoughts? Does that affect Zillow at all?
Well, it affects Zillow. Generally, the negative equity crisis, which about 1 in 5 homes now are underwater, helps Zillow in that dislocation and volatility helps information providers. The same way that you guys benefit when there are equity market gyrations and other publishers of financial news benefit when there are economic gyrations, that helps Zillow. The strategic default crisis that you're referring to, where between 10 and 15% of all defaults are now strategic, where the borrower just walks away. I mean, that's interesting. There was an op-ed piece in the New York Times this weekend about whether that's moral or not. I think it drew a very interesting comparison. Said companies do this all the time. I mean, banks they buy properties, and when they don't want to pay the mortgage, they turn it over to the lenders, and nobody gives a hoot about that. So, why are we saying that these individual homeowners are immoral when they walk away? It's an interesting analogy I hadn't thought of.
Right. Fannie Mae was just given a blank check. I think they're hopping back into the market. Is this or the perception going to spur bankers and lenders to start loaning more? Or are they still going to sort of be hibernating and taking a back seat?
Yeah, well, it's gotten, although mortgage rates are at historic lows, it's gotten a lot harder to get a loan. You have to have much better credit, much better documentation. I just closed.
As it should be.
Well, as it should be. But, it's the one caveat is sometimes this HVCC, the Home Valuation Code of Conduct, is making it very difficult sometimes to close purchase loans because multiple appraisals are required. And so you have a lot of real estate agents kind of complaining about the difficulties of that. But nowadays, even if you have good credit and great documentation, it can take 6 to 12 weeks to close a refi. That can be difficult for a borrower who's trying to lock in rates.
Does that lag hurt you at all?
It doesn't really hurt Zillow necessarily. It can hurt the borrower who's just trying to get something done. But no, it doesn't really hurt Zillow.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.